Hi peeps, how you doing? I know I've been missing in action. We've had a very busy week. My grandson turned 2, so that was a pretty big deal. And I had to get that hutch. I know I said I'd bring you along. I just didn't have time. I had to get it out the door and make some money, so I apologize for that. But I wanted to talk a little bit today about valuing your worth and not compromising who you are for someone else. When my shop was open, I always, people came in all the time and you would hear sideways comments about, oh, that's too much money. And other people would come in and say, oh, that's a great price. So it always has been a thing. What's the sweet spot? How much do you sell a dinette set for? How much do you sell a dresser for? That'll get it moving and get it down the road. And I don't mean that in a bad way. I'm just saying, you don't want to sit on something for too long, and you don't want it flying out the door and thinking, well, maybe I should have gotten more for that. So you kind of always had to find that sweet spot. And when my vendors would come in for the first time and say, especially if they were new vendors, and say, oh, will you help me? And it was very common. Will you help me price my pieces? And I, of course, said yes. But I also let them know that they needed to learn how to do this because it is important to me and it should be important to them that they know the value of their worth. Now, that being said, I had a friend of mine ask me the other day if I would do a piece. And I, of course, said yes. And when I told this person what I charged, they came back at me with, well, I'm not looking for a new piece. I'm just looking for you to paint this piece. And I've been a bit salty ever since because, first of all, it's a friend of mine. And I told this person how much I get an hour or a piece or whatever. And it should have been a done deal. It shouldn't have been questioned, in my opinion. I don't question how much they get an hour, and I know how much they get an hour. But I didn't question it. And I wouldn't question it had I have asked them to come to my house and do what they do for me. It's a given. I know it's a going rate. I know in this particular line of business, it depends upon where you live. It depends, like in Edina, Minnesota, you're going to get more for a piece than you would in Anoka, Minnesota, or certainly in northern Minnesota, say Brainerd or Duluth. But here's the deal, okay? I've been doing this a long time. I've actually been doing this since I was about 15. Not the same, but I was a young mother. I lived on my own. I wanted a nice house and I couldn't afford it. And so I consequently, mostly back then, spray painted, really. Spray painted everything to match and whatever and what I wanted. And so I've been doing it a long time. And now I've been doing this, painting furniture and having my pieces in shops and in my own store and going into other people's homes and painting cabinets and doing things. I've been doing this for, a long time. And I know my worth. And I'm not going to compromise that for somebody else. And the fact of the matter is, salty or not, I'm not salty with this person. I'm salty with me. And the reason why I'm salty with me is because I feel that I need to explain this. And I feel like when this person said that to me, I was offended, like I wasn't worth what I know damn good and well I'm worth. Okay? So I think for this year of 2020, where I think my mantra is going to be, I'm not going to compromise who I am for anyone, which has kind of been my mantra for almost 20 years now. Now, maybe not, because I've been sober for that long and it's kind of one of our things in sobriety, but for almost 20 years. but also I'm not going to explain it. I don't need to explain it to anyone. I know what I'm capable of. I know what I'm not capable of. I know what I'm worth. And I'm not going to explain how I know that to anyone. And I'm not going to feel bad about that. Does that make sense? All of the people that know me know that I'm pretty much an open book. If you want to know anything about me, I'll tell you. If there's something that I do that I can teach you to do, come on over. Come on over into my garage. I'll show you. I'll give you whatever tools it is that you need to have to do that. I will give that to you for free. I used to have painting classes. I used to teach painting, and I charge money for that, for people that I don't know, because I'm worth that. Okay? However, my friends know that they can come here and I will teach them at any time. But I'm not going to give it away for free. And I'm not going to explain why you're paying that much for a piece or for my time, because I shouldn't have to. And that's how I feel. And so I'm going to stop feeling salty about it. And I'm going to stop explaining it. That's what I'm going to try and do. And I'm going to have some more coffee. And I hope you do too. Enjoy your day.